Hey everyone, welcome to our Wednesday live. I'm Debbie White. I'm a brand and marketing expert. And we're going to talk about funnels today because ultimately the goal of our marketing is to bring clients to us and to grow our business, right? To really get clients. So I want to cover some things that are about having a funnel that's simple, effective, and walk you through some very classic steps that work with anything. So if you're here, welcome. I love seeing who's here. Give me a hello. And first of all, I want to start off with just the basics of a funnel. And if you're wondering, like, what is a funnel? I mean, everyone, you hear the word funnel flipped around. There's complicated funnels. There's, do we need a funnel? Yes, all marketing is a funnel. And the reason why it's called a funnel is we start really wide with the journey that our audience is on. And we're actually going to talk about the key steps in a funnel are classic, and you've probably heard of this, but I'm going to review them for you here. We start with awareness. Like, first of all, people have to be even aware that you and your brand exist, right? We start there, and then we go to interest. And I'm going to break these down today. Then we go into interest, and the funnel gets tighter and tighter down, right? And then we go into desire. They actually crave and want what you have. And then finally, they take action and buy the thing that you have. Okay, that's called AIDA. It's a classic marketing funnel. How do we do this in the simplest way, in the most effective way? And that's what I want to talk about today. So, first of all, the best marketing funnel in the world isn't really going to do a whole lot if you aren't positioning yourself and aligning yourself in a way that you're a highly desirable, one-of-a-kind brand that's aligned and has defined your audience and what they most desire. Okay, that alignment literally is the make or break. And I see a lot of stuff out there, and what I'm seeing is a lot of people can't identify what it is about a certain brand, offer, service, whatever it is. They can't identify sometimes what they even do. And oftentimes why it matters to them. What is it that they're offering that is unique and special? So if that's not clear, the best marketing funnel in the world is not going to drive you clients. People won't get past the kind of awareness stage. They're certainly not going to get into an interest stage. And that interest stage, and I'm going to get into that, is so important. So number one, before we even get into funneling, before I even take a client into, okay, let's talk about your funnel, we have to get so clear on what is it that you do? Why does it matter? Is it matched and aligned to what your audience wants? And you hear me talk about this a lot. I'm known for this, and I absolutely believe, and I know that's the key that will hold most people back from having exponential growth. And I can tell you, I'm just having two clients in particular, two new clients. Just in the last week, we tallied their monthly income. It's like you're at the 6-figure track. One's definitely moving into the sevens, and that's her goal. But you're already at the 6-figure track. And how did that happen so quickly? And it happened so quickly because we're aligning with that client's zone of genius and what her audience most wants. And we bridge that gap. So when that gap is bridged, you're going to move from awareness to interest to desire very quickly. So I'm going to tell you that I work with, I have a 2-month intensive where this is what I can absolutely focus on. It's called Ignite. And we start in September. We have a wait list. And if you're thinking, I need to have this stuff figured out, this is what we do. And this is why we're having such incredible results with our clients. They have gone through Ignite. They're now in the house. We continue that journey on. The House of Impact. These are my signature programs. Our wait list is open. If you want that, just In Facebook, just write waitlist in the comments, and on Instagram, DM me waitlist. So let's get into AIDA. That's the awareness, that's the funnel, right? So if we start with awareness, let's start here. Awareness. Awareness, you can do all of this, by the way, with social media. All of this can be done in social media. I do think it's helpful to have your awareness umbrella as broad as you can, but I always recommend people when they're starting out, nail one social media channel really, really well before you start spreading yourself too thin on multiple. You start moving to multiple channels when you've really got one just nailed down. But their social media can pull in awareness, right? Where people see you, they get to kind of get familiar with you. That's why consistency is so important. The more consistent you are, the more they're likely to be aware of you. Any kind of visibility. So that might be referrals are great, right? JV partners are referring you, or being on a podcast as a guest. There's so many different ways that you can gain visibility and increase the awareness. But definitely being consistent on social media, if we're talking about a simple funnel, is a way to gain awareness. But again, awareness is one step. Now we have to move them into the second part of the funnel, and that's interest. And this is the step that I say is a make or break it. When people start to have interest in what you do, that can be a gap. They can see you, and I'm sure you see other people out there, and you're like, I'm not sure what they do. Yeah. And so the interest is kind of not very strong. So we have to be so clear. This is that stage where if we're very clear on what it is that we provide, and it's aligning with what we know our audience desires, and it's our special thing, and we can present it in a way that's one of a kind. No one else does what we do. You own the lane. You have zero competition. All of this is what we focus on in that Ignite program I'm telling you about that kicks off in September. This is the make or break stage. If we can't clearly articulate those things and really have our content rich and full of that, the interest won't quite be there. So if we're going from awareness, on the big funnel, right? We got the funnel like this. We start at the top. Oh, I see this brand. I see this, thing that you sell. This is cool. I'm aware of it. But are they going to move from I'm aware of it to I have interest in this? So interest is that next key step. Then we go from I'm interested. How do they move from interest to desire? So desire is when you're speaking directly to what they desire. And this is where it gets into an emotional place. Most of our buying happens from an emotional desire. There's a little tiny piece of logic, but we're very emotionally driven human beings. And that's why our content needs to have storytelling. It needs to be anchored in the aspect where you own the lane. There's no one else like you, so that you become not only desired, but the only obvious choice. This is where strategy dovetails in with, I'm going to call it energy, with the passion that you know what you're here to do. And you're speaking and communicating with your audience in a very emotional level. So when we move into desire, this is where obviously, they're checking you out. They're looking at, your Instagram, if you have a Facebook, if you have a website, like they're paying attention. You'll notice that we're on a customer journey. A funnel is a journey that your audience takes with you. Very few times will you have like one piece of content in front of someone that's never met you before, that's never seen you. They see your content, whether it's a social media post, an email, and they're like, okay, I'm buying. It happens. It's very rare. It's usually quite a journey they take with you. They start with awareness, right? They move into interest. Now we're in desire. Like, I really want that thing. I'm really wanting this. Yeah, I think I want this. They're checking you out. They're finding information. They're doing the steps they need to get to that place where they take action. And this is where you can help them along the way. Is your content moving through awareness, interest, and desire? Are you taking them on that journey with you? And again, the entire marketing funnel can be done with social media alone, but it's often helpful, and I do recommend to my clients that we have other ways to join into the funnel. And that can be with a really strong lead magnet, because we want to build our email list. That can be beyond social media. That can be anything from, like I said, any kind of visibility that's getting your name out there. And it depends on what you do, on what makes sense for your brand. But there's many entry points that people can come in to your funnel. And the AIDA, awareness, interest, desire, action funnel, while it looks very linear, it's a standard process, but people can come in from any place. But we need to have something set up so we know that we are encouraging people to move through that flow, and we're nurturing them along this process. And if you guys have any questions, I'd love to hear it. I'd love to hear your questions. So then we get into the one that we hope we get everyone to, and that's taking action. So the final step is taking action, and that's where they're actually purchasing from you. Do you have something in place to make that simple? And it can be as easy as, if you're selling directly from a social media post, do you have a very simple checkout system? Where I always say, make it so easy to say yes all along the way, every step of the way. If they get hung up, or if all of a sudden you post that this is available, come now, and you don't have your checkout ready, you might lose them in that little moment. So everything has to be flowing all the way through. So the other thing is, I encourage everyone to call people to take action. You're going to have people that are kind of floating around in the interest and desire stages, but people literally need you to call them to take the next step. And that's not being salesy. I tell my clients, each one of you has something so unique that really does make a difference in other people's lives. And you're inviting them in that journey. And if you think about it that way, that's not salesy. That's, that you're making an impact in their life. You're adding value to their life, but you have to take action. You have to ask them to take the next step and clearly indicate how to do that. It could be as simple as, in your post, like say you have something for sale, you could literally say, and this can be yours, or DM me this word to get on a call, and we'll have whatever that thing is. There's artists right here I see. It could be there's service providers also joining me. It could be, maybe there's a type of planning session that you do that's complimentary, and you can pre-screen them with questions to make sure it's the right fit before you hop on a call. Maybe it's a live studio tour on Zoom. All they have to do is DM you, a word. Make it simple, make it easy, and you'll hop on a live Zoom, live gallery show, and you'll walk them through your art. I've actually done that with an artist and ended up buying 2 paintings, not 1, because she told such great stories. So you have to take that next step, and don't be afraid of it. This is how, making sales, I think a lot of us get to that step and we're like, oh, sales. And it's like, that's the whole point. We're in business. But if we're really clear on how we really do make a difference in other people's lives, we're inviting them to take the next step for them. It's really not about you. It's the next step for them. It's the next step that they want to take. So I'm going to extend that if you want to take the next step and get very clear on all of this for yourself, Ignite is starting in September, and we have a wait list. We're going to be kicking things off September 14th. It's a 2-month deep dive, unlike anything you'll find anywhere else. And we create a one of a kind brand for you where you own the lane, you have zero competition, and you're fully charged with how you stand out, how you talk about it, so that you are making traction like the clients I said. We have had so many clients. I can't even tell you when we do wins, all the wins that are happening, sales are coming in, growth is happening, people are popping over to six figures. And it's not, this isn't gimmicky stuff. It's getting so clear and aligning with what it is that you do, how you're so unique, and what the audience wants. It's bridging that gap. It's that simple. It really is. So, the overall funnel, just to wrap things up, again, AIDA is a classic funnel. We went over the key steps. We went over that there's first awareness, then desire, then interest, and then action. We can do all of this with social media. It definitely helps if you have other entry points so that you can be nurturing. I'm covering this kind of quickly. I also teach my clients, we want to be tracking who is coming into our sphere, if you will. We want to be aware. The reason we do that is we need to be intentional about building relationships. We need to really take notice. Like, everyone needs to be looking at their stats on their social media. We need to be paying attention to who's showing up, who's interacting with you, who's commenting on your posts. Are you extending that relationship even further? Because it requires you to not just sit back and be passive. You need to be in there encouraging and nurturing the relationships with people that are interacting with you on social media through all of those stages. Building that interest and desire also is a part of you developing the relationship with them. So it's a combination, right, of strategy, relationship building, and moving into them taking action. All of that, yeah, it's a funnel. I mean, that's, that sounds so, it sounds so businessy and like unfriendly, but it's just a strategy. And strategy helps us reach more people. Strategy helps us make a difference in other people's lives. And if it makes a difference in other people's lives, I'm all for it. And this is how businesses grow. Successful businesses understand this. Marketing experts certainly understand this. And it's simple, and you can too. So that's the main, those key 4 steps are the main steps, and getting comfortable knowing how to implement and when. But honestly, I know in my heart that the way this works the best, in fact, I don't even know if it can work if you don't have this, is really getting clear on your own strengths, what the audience wants, so that when you're taking people through this, it's a breeze and you're aligned with exactly what they want, and you can develop relationships that are very real, and your content has threads of true storytelling that all aligns to where you're headed. So all of this is strategy combined with classic marketing, but it's all based on you. It's all based on your own strengths. It's not based on gimmicks. This is not a tactic that's going to go out the window tomorrow. I don't care what's happening on Threads or what new app is happening. This is the foundational business marketing skills that you need to have growth, period. And that's why I'm so passionate about it, because this will never go out of style. This will never be something that like, oh, that was yesterday. This will always be the case, and it cannot be done by AI, and it cannot be handled by a template. And only you can bring out the very unique qualities that you have. So, and I do think it helps to be with other people that can reflect back to what is unique about you, what does matter. Am I clear in my communication? Is my messaging breaking through? So those are all the things that we work on, that I work on with my clients. That's why they have the kind of growth they have. But overall, I just want to show you how a simple funnel works, why it's important, And I love hearing questions. If you have questions, I'm sure you do, on anything like this, just drop your questions. I'm happy to answer them. And every Wednesday, I go live. I will be moving things more and more just to my Facebook community. So if you're watching me, I see some of you are on Instagram right now. I'm streaming there as well. Join me live in my Facebook community. I have a link in bio. And those of you that are here on Facebook, welcome. Welcome to our community. We're going to be doing many more things here in the Facebook group coming up. We're very excited about some new changes we're going to be making and providing as much value as possible so that you can have this kind of growth as well. So everyone have a beautiful Wednesday. I will see you next Wednesday live. Come join my group. Lots of cool stuff going over there. Yes, I will, Julietta. I will be sending information about Ignite via email. If you want to get on the wait list, just DM me waitlist. And we do have information. When we get you on the wait list, we'll give you some more information about Ignite. So thank you guys so much for being here, and I will see you all really soon. Okay, bye everybody.